Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial for iVP planning. Today we will talk about DXF files, how to import them, how to export them, how to set up their scale, play with the measurements, and what to do with DXF files in iVP planning in general. Starting up, what is a DXF file in iVP? In iVP planning, a DXF file is a simplified 2D visualization of 3D models, commonly reduced to the outlines of machines. How to work with them is best shown live, so let's hop right in and start. To start working with DXF file, it's best to first import one. To do so, go to File, DXF, Import, choose the file you want to import, and then you have this prompt with a few settings. In here you can simply change the file. You can change the line width, meaning the width the lines of the import get drawn. You can change the scale or the unit, and just a quick notice of importance, the scale and the unit refer to the scale of the file you want to import. So if the file you imported is in a scale of 5:1, you should put 5:1 in here. But as we're importing a 1:1 file, just leave it at that. As reference is the part where you decide how the file you import will get handled. If you untick that, the file will be baked into the project and its content cannot be edited anymore. If you leave it as reference, then the file will be referenced by iVP planning, meaning you will need to supplement a file into a project folder to actually show it. If the contents get changed, or if you rename it, or if you delete it, then the import will show an error or different content dependingly. But now let's just import it. Now that the import has finished, you can see that it's here in the hierarchy. We have a properties window with all the known ways to edit the name, the scale, rotation, position. We can move it just like any object, and you might have seen already, here you see the DXF file. If we focus it there and there, you see the DXF file, although the line width is a bit small. So let me show you some of the ways. Let me first hide those columns. Then I'll show you some of the ways the settings impact your DXF import. First off, we have the normal DXF import that we already know. We had a millimeters measurement unit. We imported a scale of 1:1, 10 millimeters line width, and we have this more or less visible DXF import. Now in red, we see if I just increase the line width to 50 millimeters, that this can be seen quite better from afar, but might be a bit more difficult if you have a fragile setup. In green now, I just wanted to show you that as long as you keep the measurement unit corresponding to the file you imported from, it will show up the same scale in the project. So far so good. Let's do some mistakes. Now we changed the scale from the same import file to 2:1. And as you can see, it is quite bigger, doubly so. And one other mistake that can happen is that you choose the wrong unit. As you can see here, all the settings are the same for the import, but the file I imported was in centimeter, the green one. And now I have a much smaller file. And last but not least, I'll show you what happens if I import a file as a reference, but the reference is missing. Then you will get shown this image which quite clearly states that something is amiss. Next, I will show you how to export files. We'll color some of the exported elements to show you how to do that and the effects it has. So first, let's hide the import examples, show the example build, just reset the camera. You see those wonderful columns all plain white. So let's pick two and colorize them with this button. Then we'll choose a nice snug green. You see the 3D view doesn't show the color of the machine yet differently, but in the 2D view we will see that two of those are green now. We select all of them but one. I'll show you later on why. And go to File, DXF Export Selection. Yes, then we'll name that Tutorial Test and save that file. And in here we have some settings. First off, as known, the path we can change. The unit we want to export, in this case I'm working with millimeters. And then we have a side we can choose. If I click down here, we have a side view, an overhead view, and a front view. I want to go with an overhead view, so I select that, and now the file has been exported. To show you how it looks, let's go once more to export. You see the newly exported file. Go to import and import it. Just leave everything as it is, move it a bit to the side, and you see the lines of the colorized columns is now green, as in the 2D view. And that's it for the export. To visualize what it looks like when you export in the side view or in the front view, I prepared some examples, so just let me quickly clean up the scene and change my view to isometric. Focus on the top, and here you can already see the first one we already know for good, which is the export overhead view, as shown here. Then we have the side view. To illustrate that, I'll just go to the side view, and when I show the columns once more, you see those three and those three line up more or less. For the front view, I'll go to the front, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This more or less shows the same. And as you can see, it shows the outline, which explains this double line, because there's two columns quite close behind each other. That's it for today. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact us. We wish you a pleasant day and see you on the next time.